Welcome to Hydroponics, everybody. Yeah, we remember reading about this place, don't we? So we can go this way, or this way. I'll just go on one of these ways, I guess.
This is ridiculous. How did it grow this world in a few months?
That is an excellent question.
These plants can't naturally develop this fast.
Kane developed the technology to accelerate plant growth. Oxygen is big business.
The vaporizer, the perfect MKV model of the Kane Corporation trans-state modifier, using advanced and unique molecular technology. The vaporizer has the ability to shift a targeted substance between gas, liquid, and solid states without any of the structural breakdown seen in objects shifted between states on a regular basis. The MKV is the latest model, but hasn't yet been rolled into mass production because of the current difficulty fueling the vaporizer with resources on board the Groom Lake. Recent experiences undertaken were more than satisfactory, and passed the Kane safety and security test with no adverse effects causing harm to the user observed. It has been graded level 4 because of the specific nature of its technology and limited quantity of existing vaporizers. During an experiment recently carried out on a loyal jelly produced by Hydroponics, Dr. Gray and others commented on the remarkable speed at which jelly was transformed into gas, thus placing their insect population.
Vaporizer chamber compromised. Chamber is not airtight.
Sebastian Gray. Finally, we have more room for the necessary hard strain, which I've been working so hard. It's days like this that humanity truly proves why it crawled out of the ocean for any other, really. My section has been expanded. I have more staff, true, but there are drones and have little other functions. Now we can expand the research potential of Project Kitchen Knife and see what else these plants can yield. The oxygen production rate is unlike anything my initial projects could have predicted. Last year became the worst kept secret on the Groom Lake, and all of a sudden I had more interns I could comfortably employ. The only function is to stumble about the place and ask troublesome questions that I have little time to answer. If only our world was more like that of insects. I have plenty of workers and drones, but none of the unwavering loyalty. Bees work and work, the faith in their queen unquestioning and constant. That kind of loyalty is beyond price. These interns of mine are the users, I suppose. We need volunteers willing to get close to the queen. Does not sound weird at all. Am I surrounded by incompetence? One of these imbecilic interns got too close to the queen, and she showed him her, affection. Quite amusing, though not to him. This means that I must attend another accident debriefing with the board. Though Dr. Mullen does love to test me, I see him up on the hearing bench and he grins at me in that supercilious look that always has perfected over the years. I suppose I have him to thank for my current position. It was his recommendation to the board that made them hire me in the first place. Still, I believe he has come to enjoy these little power plays. He does so like to keep me under his heel. That, my dear doctor, is only a temporary situation. Once this project is complete, the chess game that we play so often will no longer be our only battleground. Regarding the project, some of the bug eggs failed to hatch properly. I suspect this is why the queen was more aggressive than usual. There are more than enough drones to continue the collection work. Their unique chemical properties are doing wonders for the plants, although I'm running short of interns prepared to work in closer proximity to them since the last incident. The work I appreciate the most is Akiza. I was astonished at Cisco that she's related to the legendary Dr. Tenshku of the Eugenics War. I did consider mentioning it to her, but I sense she is oddly ashamed to have him as her ancestor. If it wasn't for men like him, our profession would have hollow shell of what it is now. Then again, if it wasn't for him, genetic research wouldn't have been put back by several generations now, would it? The ethical quandaries we face as men of science. The insects are restless. They rumble in their apiaries and are more aggressive than usual. My personal deductions is that the presence of the marine thugs aboard the ship are the cause. Armed guards all over the place. I was stopped by one the other day and asked my reasons for going into hydroponics. Well, after explaining I was head of the project, I had the guard removed from his post and then the ship. This is insanity. How am I expected to progress with these thugs around? I don't know. I recall complaining about the indoctrination of interns. If only they were still here now. Both Ivan and Theodore disappeared from their rooms last night. I have had to speak to security about their whereabouts. They were Azeka's assistants, and now the production of the Queen's Royal Jelly has slowed exponentially. This has been a huge blow, but rather extraordinary anomalies appeared on one of our growth pods, a hitherto undiscovered strain of fungus. Its origin is something of a mystery to me. These fungal growths fascinate. At first I thought it was a common garden variety mold, but after a subsequently analysis performed by Akiza, it seems to harbor neuron activity. That is to say, it seems to exhibit rudimentary signs of intelligence. We've certainly created some unusual species on this desk, but the idea of a quasi-intelligent fungus growing and evolving on its own accord or evolution is exciting and frankly frightening. I've asked Akiza and the remnants of her team to cultivate it, but exhibit caution where it is spread. I was asked by one of Dr. Mallon's assistants if the fungal substance discovered growing in the bowels of the ship had anything to do with us. I lied, of course, but this is becoming alarming. Our experiments flourished at first. We may have lost some staff recently, but our experiments have been very fruitful indeed. Confidentially, the properties of fungus is both extraordinary and terrifying. It has the remarkable ability to take control of a living subject's central nervous system and hypothalamus. As observed in the monkey we used for testing, the monkey shrieked and thrashed and raged for the first 2 days after it was exposed, and it became quiet, observant, and uncannily intelligent. It certainly is aggressive, but then again, which viruses aren't? No. We've officially lost control of the deck. Eden now truly belongs to the beasts. We've seen strange things. I watched as the fungus took control of the deck, as it spread through the staff, and much to my shame, I watched their deaths and examined their bodies. Nobody can cross the pond because the bugs are so aggressive that when Solomon went through it in a rat suit, they ripped it from his body and stung him to death. It took mere moments. Still, I live in the hope the insects will remember me, their creator, and perhaps see me as one of their own. That won't happen. I do not wish to seem unprofessional or impolite. I would ask you not to press me on the subject of my ancestry any further. I was newly refused entry to medical school on the basis of my family's background, and the torment I suffered at the hands of my school peers regarding my great-great-uncle was unbearable. I am fully aware of his actions. I have seen countless photographs and documents of the consequences of his work. I took this position to change our world for the better, not to be reminded of the skeletons in my family's closet. I've enjoyed our working relationship thus far, Dr. Gray, but I prefer my family history no longer be the topic of our conversation. Thank you for understanding. I enjoyed our meal yesterday. It was refreshing to hear a man so outspoken on the ship. I appreciate your candor, and I agree that perhaps it is time the board was shaken up a little. Although this is merely an observation, other than an action plan, I think the top leadership needs more new blood. I'd second you if you decided to take on the challenge yourself. Your impeccable scientific pedigree more than qualifies you. By the way, did you know they were keeping a new cargo? It seems rather a waste of resources if anyone could tell us where it is. What?
Are you fucking kidding me?
What?
It's some sort of insect.
Keep your distance.
It's tied up. Doesn't look like it can get loose.
Tied up. How big is it?
Okay, Monday, normal. Tuesday, okay. Wednesday, aggression is heightened. No activity. Aggressive. Normal. Aggressive. Cool. I couldn't be happier. Dr. Gray took me to one side and told me that I was the only person who had skill and ability to take control of the nursery. He promoted me on the spot and said I was now personally responsible for the queen. The royal jelly that she produces has provided to be incredibly useful. I discovered through my own analysis that not only is the jelly an essential nutrient for the insect population, but it has other amazing physical properties too. It accelerates molecular bonding in certain substances, acting as a thickener for many natural substances while also regenerating their natural properties. With some engineering, I imagine we could turn this into a true medical breakthrough. I imagine doctors and hospital wards on Earth using our bonding agent to heal wounds instantly. Perhaps finally the Tenshu name will be revered in medical history instead of reveled. Queen is a temperamental little thing. A fiery lady to be sure. But Queenie, you forget. I grew up in a family with more than a fire-breathing dragon. If I can handle my mother, I can certainly handle you. Ha. Although, when she is milked, she's rather docile, I dare say she's rather attached to me. I'm sure I heard her purring at me. That's why only I can describe it. Whether she's a bug and all, but it sounded rather like approval. Okay. My parents kept hives of bees, so I never seemed squeamish for insects. I can tell the difference between aggressive and favor. I'm still the only person who can close without being bitten, and her bite can leave one mark. Let me tell you, Hodgkins said he will put his side effects upon his return from sick leave. In other news, Dr. Myrick, one of Dr. Graves' supporters, has requested samples of the jelly for experiments on his tree resins. He thinks it might have a use as an industrial adhesive. This is a little away from my original intention, but I suppose it's a start. I tried so hard to be positive, to be the person whose enthusiasm never once flags nor fails. But when you start hearing rumors that appall you to your very core, I try to shrug it off, but recently it's becoming harder to deny it. I'm hearing sounds from the elevator shafts, the sound of a wailing infant, crying out in pain before suddenly being silenced. That's no rumor. Sometimes I lay awake at night and I really can't hear the sound of crying children. I can't be dreaming. Like that sound there. Quiet! I saw Adrenica to confess my fears. He gave me a prescription to help me sleep. But something in his eyes said he knew I was hearing something real and worse. It was something he was hearing too. More rumors. Dr. Mellon is using children in his research. I have to ignore it. If it were true, Kyle would remove him immediately. Surely, even Dr. Craig appears to find it an uncomfortable subject for discussion. And this man is a man who sucked easily when Isaac got his left cheek torn by the queen. Oh boy. Is Dr. Gray short of staff? Again? Once again, I'm being forced to manage multiple projects, only this time it's an examination of actual destruction of a new spore that seems to have infected a few of the ponds. First observation, it's a parasitic fungus that grows faster than any common weed. And like a common weed, I feel it should be destroyed. But now I know that Dr. Gray won't do it. He, like many of our senior doctors, sees any new species as something to be exploited or weaponized. In the darkness, something stirs. I can't say what. I'm too afraid to find out what it is. When Ivan and Theo disappeared a month back, we assumed they'd somehow deserted. That was the official stance taken by Dr. Mellon and the board. Anyway, Last night's event proved that there is something on board with us, though who knows where it's from. The Queen was more rambunctious than I've ever seen before, and milking her was certainly more challenging than I'm used to. Edmund was assisting. We've been short on staff, and some of our volunteers are simply refusing to show for work. The Queen's environment has been disturbed a great deal, and her violent tendencies are more pronounced. Edmund was on his way out of hydroponics when it happened. A thing, something, pulled him into one of the air ducts. I didn't see much. I saw him walking towards the decontamination chamber. The next moment, his legs were kicking in the air as whatever it was dragged him up into the ceiling while he squealed like a pig. I'm resigning tomorrow. I did not sign up for mad science. I came to kind serve humanity and clear my family name, not watch my crewmates be slaughtered by a species that Dr. Mullen refuses to confirm or deny. If only I resigned when I said I would. If only they hadn't ignored my demands to have the infernal fungus destroyed. It's growing over me now, over my skin. It's burrowing into my flesh. Insects attacked once again, and seems to only worsen. Dr. Gray was destroyed by a swarm of them. Now he is only fertilizer for the ever-ravenous mole he was once so curious about. The inner fixtures are making an attempt to escape. This doesn't include me. Emergency flares keep the bugs away. I told them to give me the flare to hold back the bugs so they could get away. Hope they skip soon. Fungus is making my head feel fuzzy. I'm sure I can feel it growing through my ear canal. Wow. Okay. You are one big thing, I tell you what. I don't want to go near you either, cause bad things might happen. Okay, we didn't die. Whew, okay. Let's continue on. Methinks we're not supposed to be in here yet. Because I have a feeling the bees will just kill us, and I don't really want to risk that.